We are here with Laura Britt, NBC Sports Bay Area. Joining us, Stiles and Watkins on the road from Vegas. Oil changes, tire rotations, your overall car maintenance. Think Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube is a place to take your car for your next road trip. Jiffy Lube, proud sponsor of Stiles and Watkins Radio Row road trip to Vegas. Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. This is great. And Radio Row Day 2, you really see an increase in people walking around.
Yeah.
So, we've been here since Monday. I don't know when you guys
we
got
got in last night.
You got in last night.
Yeah.
So you start to see the slow trickle of people, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody starts to descend.
Yeah. Let's start here. All right. Obviously, NBC Sports Bay Area. But we know you know ball. You're not necessarily a homer, right? But with that being said, are you picking with your head or heart when it comes to Niners Chiefs? Do the Niners finally get number 6?
Well, there's a background story there.
Okay.
So I interned in news. And when I started my career, I started in sports and then also a morning show. So there's a distinct reason why I don't go homer. I have a true journalistic aspect about me that I really do to my core feel to just try to present facts to people and let them decide. So I guess I haven't gotten asked my pick yet.
Okay.
So will you guys be the first ones? I don't know yet.
Well, I'm asking.
Should I give my pick right now?
You can marinate on it.
I'm going to marinate on it because I know what it is. I just haven't decided if I'm ready to share
We got
yet.
the breaking news. We can get it going.
Let's
We can
go.
get the sounder
We'll
ready.
get it on the ticker. Who Laura picks to win the Super Bowl.
Speaking of breaking news, by the way, I was looking at your socials the other day, and I saw this is the first time you've been to Vegas?
First time ever. Literally. Land Monday, never been here. It's a wild
What are your
place.
thoughts? So, I mean, like, it's clearly a place like no other.
My first thought is the buildings are really big.
Huge.
We've been walking. I don't know if anyone else has not been to Vegas. I'm sure all of your listeners probably have.
Sure.
I think I'm the only person on the planet that has yet to be in Vegas, especially being so close, like an hour flight from the Bay Area. Hey, I've got 3 kids. Okay,
Yeah,
people, I got 3 kids.
I gotcha.
The buildings are huge. We're walking miles and miles and miles.
Even just to get into Radio Row here, it's a marathon.
So, I think that's really my first impression. I wore heels yesterday.
Oof.
We got
Flats.
sneakers on today, baby.
That's right.
Sneakers on today.
Live and learn.
So if you haven't been to a Super Bowl, I know most people don't get the opportunity to come. Very expensive to be able to take off work for a week. Who can do that?
Yeah.
So we're lucky to be here. But, there's just a lot of walking involved. I will say over Miami, when the Niners went last time, we were down there in Miami. I do like the fact that you are able to walk places outside of the rain that's happening in the desert, which I'm really confused about. That's very confusing.
I had to tell him to bring a coat. He had no idea.
I was very upset.
It's very confusing. I didn't bring an umbrella, but I didn't think I would need one in Las Vegas. But so in Miami, you had to, hop in an Uber. You're driving an hour. You're driving 30 minutes. And here you're able to walk. It's just got to wear the sneakers. Pro tip.
Talking to Laura Britt, NBC Sports Bay Area. And don't forget, NBC Sports has you covered all week long with Niners coverage and pre and post after the big game, which the Niners may or may not win, according to Laura. We're still trying to figure that out. Laura, let's pivot just a little bit to the Giants and everything that they have going on. They've made some moves in the offseason. I try Giants Twitter. If your blood pressure is like mine, you should probably stay off of it. How do you feel about what the Giants have done so far heading into this season, going up against I just don't want to compare the Giants to the Dodgers. Let's just put them in a different category and build whatever you got going on and go from there.
So Giants Twitter can be very sad sometimes.
Yes.
Especially this offseason when you see the Dodgers make so many moves. I think what you have to do if you're a Giants fan is put everything in perspective. Did they try and get Shohei? Did they try and get Aaron Judge? Yes. Is that the team's fault?
Yeah.
Maybe. Some people want to put blame on the team for not being able to land those stars. We heard some of the comments about what some free agents are saying about the city, whether you want to believe that or not. Maybe that's how they actually feel.
Yeah.
So you have to take that as well into consideration. I think the saying of the Giants don't want to spend money isn't accurate anymore. So 2 years ago, I think that's how a lot of Giants fans were feeling is why won't they spend money? Why won't they sign Kevin Gosman to a longer term deal? Why won't they lock down some of these players? But I don't think that's the case anymore. They have the money. They're willing to spend the money. It's about how do you land those free agents? And would you want a guy that doesn't want to be here? I don't think so. I don't think you want to. I mean, if it's Shohei Ohtani, maybe you want him even if he doesn't want to be here. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they've been able to attract these free agents. They have a loaded roster. The Giants did what they could. There are still big name free agents out there.
Right.
This has been a really weird,
super weird
offseason. I definitely thought we kept hearing winter meetings. We're in Nashville. Nothing happens.
Yeah. Where is the hot stove?
There was no hot stove. It was cold stove. It was a freezer.
Yeah.
It was a freezer this winter meeting. So we're all sitting around, and what you kept hearing is once that first domino falls, the other ones are going to start falling. And that is typically how it goes. Well, Shohei Ohtani signs, then you're waiting on Yamamoto. So you wait more weeks, then Yamamoto signs, and you keep waiting on these other guys. And granted, the big name free agents that are still out there, Scott Boras clients, as you guys know.
Yeah.
And he likes to play those. Good for him, good for his clients. You want that kind of representation if you're a player. But it is a bit strange to be 2 weeks away from spring training and guys haven't signed. Some big name guys haven't signed. When are those signings going to happen? I don't know.
What happens first? We get Laura's pick for the Super Bowl. Or Cody Bellinger comes to the Giants. You never know.
If the 49ers win the Super Bowl, will Cody Bellinger come?
There you go. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how you attract free agents.
Exactly. Laura, going to the Super Bowl matchup. I mean, do you have a matchup that you're looking forward to the most, just seeing how it plays out?
Yeah, I think it's this Super Bowl compared to Super Bowl 54. There are so many changes on these two teams. The Chiefs were known for their offense, and the 49ers back in Super Bowl 54, and the 49ers, their defense, as we all know. I'm not quick to toss aside saying like, oh, the Chiefs are all defense. They still have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. It feels very weird to me to be like, oh, it's the 49ers offense versus the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
Because you still have Nick Bosa.
Right.
You still have Fred Warner. You've got some big name players on the 49ers defense as well. So I think it does. It's a really good Super Bowl matchup.
It is. It really
what
is.
am I focusing in on the most? Probably to see Steve Wilks, got some, I guess, not hate, but
some heat.
Some heat. Thank you. Some heat after the Lions game.
Yeah.
And some of the decisions that he made. He took accountability for that and said he wanted to clean that up. So there's no doubt in my mind that he'll be ready to make those calls. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are really good at ad-libbing. So how do you prepare for that?
Yeah.
It's good that the Niners have faced them before, and Kyle Shanahan has seen that. I'm sure Steve Wilks has watched that game many times now and watched the film on the Chiefs. So I guess seeing the calls of what Kyle Shanahan's able to do with the offense and how the Chiefs defense does try and stop a guy that is Mr. Irrelevant. And his weapons are really the star of the show with Christian McCaffrey being on the Niners now. So that is, yes, the big storyline.
Sure.
I'm kind of more interested in the flip side.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more interested in how the Niners defense handles Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Pacheco too. He's a threat. Let's see, the Niners, as far as rushing defense go, I think this is where some people aren't realizing how good in the regular season the Niners rushing defense was. They ranked third in all of the NFL. So yes, the Chiefs have an aspect of a run game, but the Niners have been able to stop that for the majority of the regular season.
Yeah, we're definitely headed towards the Niners defense being a little bit underrated based on their last couple performances, which isn't a bad thing. Joined by Laura Britt of NBC Sports Bay Area. Don't forget, NBC Sports has all of your Niners coverage all week long. Laura, okay, let's ask you it this way. Who is your favorite player on the Niners, or favorite player to watch on the Niners?
Oh, that's good.
That's a great question.
So that's kind of like a dual question, because
your
favorite personality doesn't have to be
definitely.
I think so I've, as you guys know, and most of your listeners know, I've moved over to mainly covering the Giants now, but I was ingrained in the Niners for a long time. And I think it's hard not to love George Kittle, especially as a member of the media. You want a guy that's fun, is having fun, is not scared to answer questions. He really is that person. Some guys are different on TV than they are behind the scenes. George Kittle's just a really genuinely happy guy. And I'm sure in all those mic'd up segments that we've seen after the line, he's in the middle of a really intense moment and he's joking around, but not, he's not serious about his game, as everybody knows. So I think there's a fine line that he's been able to walk there. So as far as just personality wise, I got to go with George Kittle. And then I'm a little split on I love Trent Williams.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like Trent Williams, and I
Mhm.
love that he's in a Super Bowl for the first time in his career.
Yeah.
The level that he's played at for so long. I know the popular answer is probably Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, but I really appreciate his dedication to the game. And it's a spot where you don't get a lot of glory, and he's been a huge difference maker for the 49ers. I think he's a big reason why they're here right now. So
Yeah.
Trent Williams is one of my favorite players just athletically and what
Okay.
he does on
Not
the
very
field.
often you hear an offensive
No,
lineman be
I
somebody's
said-
favorite
I
player,
said
but Trent, if it's going to be
appreciation.
anybody,
So
it's going to be
favorite
Trent
player-
Williams.
Swag.
He's got
Oh
swag.
yeah. All the
Which
swag in
through
the
the
world.
roof.
Here's the thing about that. This is a large man. That stuff,
Yes.
you're not going to the store to buy that. There's a lot of
That's a good point.
dedication also to the outfits.
Special orders.
Tailoring, yes.
That's time.
Yes.
That's not just big and tall shop. No.
And I appreciation for that too.
So favorite player Trent Williams, most exciting player
George Kittle.
George Kittle. All
That
right.
works. Laura, I want to ask everybody this, but I feel like it could get just dangerous and it could end up taking the entire interview. Brock Purdy, overrated, underrated, properly rated. Where would you say you feel like he is?
I think he's underrated.
Mhm.
The game manager thing that he's been moniker, I guess, that he's been deemed with all season. Yeah, maybe the first 4 games you can say that and get away with that. To take your team to a Super Bowl, and many would say, well, it's not Brock Purdy that did it. It's Christian McCaffrey. It's other players. It's a team sport, and I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily a game manager quarterback that can go out and win a Super Bowl. He hasn't done that yet. To make it to this level, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to get that criticism. And the great thing about Brock Purdy, he's a level-headed guy.
Yeah.
He's not listening
Oh, yeah.
to this. And I mean, even if he is, he knows who he is. He's a Christian. He's made that clear. And his, foundation isn't from what people say about him.
Right.
It comes from somewhere else. And I think having that mentality is a big advantage for him.
Yeah.
But I definitely think he's been underrated. Every player has an aspect of their game that they have to work on. Not everybody's going to be perfect every game. To go pick apart because he has one really bad game, to say that the Niners were down in these past 2 games and that's Brock Purdy's fault, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, yeah, we played that Bosa audio. I don't know if you heard it, of them in the locker room and Bosa asking him, how are you so confident, man? I was the number 2 pick in the draft. Even I'm defensive player of the year. Even I've doubted myself. How do you stay so composed? And he's just like,
Right.
just play ball, man. It's just his moxie is insane to me.
It is.
Yeah. Laura, Britt, thank you so much. And
This
that was
is
just
fun.
beautifully said. But you're not getting away that fast. We
Okay.
need your Super Bowl pick, and we need it now.
So I don't want people to get upset with me. But I will say, when you have a team like the Chiefs that have been to 4 Super Bowls in the past 5 years, they've been to 6 consecutive AFC championship games, and an MVP in Patrick Mahomes. I do think, and I would do the same thing with Tom Brady and the Patriots when they were reigning supreme for so long. Until they've been beaten, I'm going to go with their history of success, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win in Super Bowl 58. I think the Niners have a really good shot at it too, so I know that's not fun to be kind of both teams.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a really good game. The Niners cannot fall behind, as many people know, like they did against the Packers, like they did against the Lions. I don't think you can get away with that against the Chiefs. I think the Niners have probably studied all of that film very intensely over the past couple weeks. But the reigning Super Bowl champs, it's hard to go against them when they've seen success, not across 1 year, not across 2 years, across 6 seasons.
Right.
It's hard to go against the Chiefs.
There you go. Laura, Britt, thank you so much. NBC Sports Bay Area. Don't forget, NBC Sports has you Super Bowl coverage all week long and pre and post after the big game, which maybe Laura will be wrong, and the Niners are
It's a
getting
win-win,
number 6. Laura, we know you're doing your thing on NBC Sports Bay Area. You're over here, so if you are trying to keep your pick secret, we won't tell anybody. We won't tell
Can we all
anybody.
keep this a secret?
We will
This
keep
is
it on
all
the
just
low.
between
Just
us.
between us.
We will keep it
Okay,
on
good.
the low.
Hey, this has been so fun.
Yes.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me
Yes,
on.
thank
This
Thank
is
you,
Thanks
Laura.
awesome.
We will
coming on.
talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All righty, got to get to a break. We will be right back with Stiles and Watkins on the road in Las Vegas, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.